I'm gonna load Lightroom. As I'm loading up Lightroom, I've already dumped photos that I took earlier today. I've already dumped those into a folder, and so I really just need to kind of um, get into our drive and try and find them. I was on a shoot this morning, and I want to start kind of culling through the shoot. It's not a lot of photos actually. It's kind of very small. This is more of like an architectural building photo shoot. So very simple. Not a lot of editing. Not a lot of crazy stuff happening. Our goal really is to knock these out, right? I want to start working on these. So I need to import, and so we're just gonna make sure they're all selected, right? And we're gonna import. All right, all right. I thought this was a cool one. The thing is that it's like there's a lot of shadow in this photo, so we really need to kind of figure out like what are we gonna do, um, and also I'd really like to just go through the culling process. Like since these are not a lot of photos, you can kind of go through these really quick. So hitting 5 on your keyboard will favorite your photos. So I like this one. I like that one. I like this one. This one's better. So like, yeah, I'm like basically all I'm doing, like, sorry for the quietness. Like in my mind, I am looking at all of my photos that I've favorited that I like, and I'm just quickly, like, I'm not nitpicky about like, oh, the framing's off or it's crooked. I'm just like, I like this one. I remember this. I like this one. And that's kind of how I'm going through it. And I'm just favoriting the ones that I like. So I remember this gentleman, he was like, hey man, there's a lot of bubbling happening on these buildings. If you can fix it, that would be amazing. And I told him, yeah, no problem. It's basically just a matter of, you know, Photoshop. And so it's got different angles of these buildings, you know. I didn't like that because it kind of cuts off. So like right here, it cuts off, and I remember I took another photo and I was like, okay, that's better. And then I did some kind of depth right here with another building, so I was like really finding a nice uh, groove with these photos. Yeah, it's kind of hard to photograph these buildings and not get like it's like too much. So 26 photos that I favorited. I told him I'd only give him 12 to 15, so we're definitely going to give him a lot more. Um, so now that we've got our photos like favorited and selected, you can see down here, um, there's a star in our system here. Ideally, like I'll start here on the first one and really just kind of go through the different, um, like there's some presets here that I like. So we shot our photos in RAW. So that means that we can kind of like push and pull the shadows and the highlights, and all of the different adjustments, contrast, all that good stuff. Um, so really, I look at our histogram here and I see like it's very bright. So like our highlights, most of the data in this image is like in our highlights. Um, so I'm gonna kind of bring this down a little bit, just a little bit, not much. Um, and I like to kind of go to our tone curves and each color create S curves. So for me, I like to, for blues, get a little S, like negative S that way, the greens, kind of do this number, and then our reds. I don't want reds in the shadows, so I'm gonna bring it down a little bit further. And our luminance. All right, so now that we've kind of like played around with our S curves a little bit, I'll go in here to the color grade and really just try to find like how I want my shadows and highlights, like the color. Usually I'm like orange and teal kind of for the highlights. So orange in our highlights kind of go like this, and I don't really go far like that. I don't really like to do that. Just like little bits. And then for our shadows, we're gonna come over here to the teal. Okay, right there, and I like that, and just kind of, and you can see like the building is really shadowy, so like that's where I think I want to live. I want to live like right there. Okay, so this is kind of like a good base. Like this is kind of like a good starting point. And then so let's go into these like presets. So these are kind of cool. I don't really like this one. That's really blue. And this just kind of like does a lot to our image that I'm not really a fan of. So let's kind of go through these. And again, you know, this is commercial work for someone else. So ideally, like, I'll try to be as not as like creative as possible. So let's use this preset. I kind of like that. The only thing is that it kind of brings our image exposure down a lot. So yeah, by negative 0.26. So I'm just gonna bring that back a little bit like that. And so then I need to look at our lens corrections, because this was shot, on a very wide angle lens. So we use this and it will correct all of the warping that happens in this thing. And then also to like looking at the transform tab, this transform tab is going to allow us to correct there we go. That's kind of perfect. What I'm really looking at is this edge of the building right here, and when I hover over vertical, I'm trying to like see like, is it straight with that? So now when we made that correction, you can see like at the top there's going to be this white line if we don't do anything about it. So we need to zoom in and punch in, like crop in until it goes away. There we go. Nice. There we go. So our before image, after image has changed a little bit, right? And we haven't really done much. So next, I'm probably going to start working on like the actual like exposure. So I don't really like the shadows of this. So we can come over here and instead of masking this with our like clicking and selecting, I'm just going to go to like the smart subject and hit pop and see what that does. I really like that. We do warm. We see the difference. I remember it was more warm like this. So I think I want to go with the warm. Balanced just makes it really bright. Balance might be nice too. So yeah, because balance, you know, ideally we want to be able to see all these shadows, and that's, we're already pushing them up quite a bit. Now I can come over here and click on the mask and then push it more you know, our shadows more, which I don't like that. So cool. Now that we're still masks, I want to kind of come over here, add a little linear gradient right here, and kind of bring down our exposure a little bit to the ground. And then the sky too, I want to do another linear gradient. Our focus wants to be on the building, so that's kind of like what I'm trying to ultimately do. And then we could do like an adaptive sky look, but I honestly don't know if I want to do that. Okay, so right away, I mean, this is the before and this is the after. I really like where we're going. We're not real flashy with the creativeness, so to make it easy, I'm gonna grab like certain things to copy, and then you know we'll copy and paste basically like what shows on this photo. I'm gonna copy it and then paste it onto other photos. But certain things like I don't want to do masking, and I don't want to do cropping. So yeah, there's like certain things I'm gonna copy, and I don't want to copy. So color grading, the lens corrections, we're not going to do masking, the color curve, color mixer, color grading, yes, copy that. Come over here to this next photo, and I'm going to just paste it and see what it does to my picture. Okay, not much change. All right, so my tone curve didn't copy over, so let's look at tone curve. I think what happened was like yeah, that's better. That works. Yeah, so like when I was working with the preset, it erased my tone curve. All right, so let's go back here. Tons of blue in our shadows, so let's just kind of like bring that like there, and then our highlights, you know. Okay. Like that. Bring us shadows. What's great about this one is that like for the mask, I don't have to do much because it's kind of like already creating for the sky. I don't have to do much there. But so this is kind of like how I will edit photos in Lightroom. Just kind of like quickly go through, and then once I get out of Lightroom, I, you know, either we'll take it into Photoshop or not. If it's people, I'm doing like Lightroom, Photoshop, Evato, and like that. But anyways, if you guys found this helpful, hit the like button, comment, let me know what you guys like or dislike about this. If you guys have maybe other methods or ways that you're doing this, I'd love to know. And I'll share this if you would like to help support the channel. And as always, we'll see you in another video. Peace.